This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Coming from the 606 Media Studios, this is the TCSF podcast with Big Z. We got JC, Dynasty Fantasy Football in the house, and we got also Stevie B from the No Water on the Weekend podcast. Episode 234 is brought to you by 606 Media, true Chicago sports fans. And don't forget to go to 606media.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirt, or check out the new line For the Love of Sports. Go over there and get your official merch now. There we go. Look. Oh.
Whoa. Look at that.
Oh, JC's making some special edition stuff.
Every single week it's something new with this guy, and I love it. You know,
I love it. Can't wait. I want to go to his place and steal some stuff.
Drive over there. Yes, we'll have to drive over there. All right. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, X, hit that subscribe button. If you're on your favorite podcast app, remember to give us a 5-star review and smash that subscribe. There you go. There it is. I'm pumped up. It's Monday, not hungover, so let's keep going.
What? Oh my goodness, that's a first. Remember, you can support the show with the monthly subscription at anchor.fm/True Chicago Sports Fans. Go over there and click on the support button and subscribe for as little as 99 cents a month. And if you haven't done so, subscribe to the other podcasts in the 606 Media family. You got a Podcated with Big Z, podcast where we dive deep into guest live stories. Each episode features engaging discussions, interviews, fascinating guests, and a healthy dose of humor. And then you also have the No Water on the Weekend podcast with Steven and Sean, a pop culture forward podcast that dabbles in funny trivia, film, television, music, and Chicago-centric news and happenings. Stevie B, how was the last episode? Huh?
It's great. New episode is out. It's been out for a little bit. I just did the art cover. It's called Seal a C. So I was making jokes because I love Mountain Dew and I like the regular one, but it's so much sugar. So I've been drinking like the zero sugar one, but just to see Mountain Dew just make these ridiculous, crazy ads. And they actually, been putting out these advertisements even before the Super Bowl, just like small snippets. And then you get to see the full thing. So, me and Sean are singing that song on the show. So you guys, if you want to hear us sing, that's always a great time. Nope, yeah. Batman. When you think of that song, you think of Batman. That's it. So
definitely. Well, without further delay, let's get into it. We're gonna cover the Super Bowl. So the Super Bowl hangover. The Bears lose their matriarch and another coach. We'll discuss what the Bulls did in our second half of our show, and then we'll close it out with the Cubs and Sox as pitchers and catchers report. And we'll see how excited we are for baseball now that football is finally over. So, boys, Super Bowl 59 is in the books. What did we think about the team, the game, the halftime show, the whole shebang? JC, and you were probably working.
Yes, I was working, but I was getting I didn't watch any of it while I was at work. Usually I'll put it on my cell phone and watch it, but I didn't want to watch it because it was one of those where I wanted the Eagles to win so bad. I wanted Saquon to get one. He was on a bad team, deserved everything he's gotten this year. Right. And it was one of those, I didn't want to watch. I didn't want to give half my attention to the game. But, as I'm doing my work, coworkers are coming by. Oh, dude, the Chiefs are getting 14-0. Oh, the Chiefs are 21-0. Oh, the Chiefs are, and everyone's just constantly walking past me because I didn't no earbuds in, I'm not watching the game, nothing. So everyone keeps walking past me, just ruining it anyway. But at the same time, I was sitting there yes, forget Taylor Swift. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that Taylor Swift things are not.
She got booed.
Thank
the clip. So
I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Listen, it's one thing I understand. Pre-game, you want to talk about the family, you want to talk about Taylor Swift, whatever. But it was one of those if Travis Kelce caught 7 catches in the game, for you to pan to her 7 times every time he does something, it's enough. Can we stop, please?
Yeah. Definitely. What's up, Izzy? Glad to have you back. We missed you last week. Yeah, it was great. There was not too much Taylor, and when she did show up, she got booed, which is great. I thought it would have been just like the last matchup that they had 2 years ago. It would have been a close game, but that wasn't the case. The Eagles won. Congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles. It's always sunny in Philadelphia, kind of thing. So I can't wait to see what kind of spoof they'll make. I know they're not making episodes, but it'll be fine.
I know they're actually recording right now, or
are they? Oh,
yeah.
I thought they were done.
No, I think this is going to be the last one, and I was going to pitch my idea to if I found one of them or in the street, but that's no one on the weekend stuff. But no, I thought it was great. I was watching it here. Halftime, Sean came up, and we're watching it together. Me and him cracking jokes about all these halftime commercials that I thought were great. But again, to see no three-peat, it's kind of nice. And also about the whole GOAT status of, is it Patrick? Is it Tom Brady? And I bet Tom Brady felt really good about himself leaving there a winner as well, because he's not up for debate. He's still the GOAT, in my opinion.
He's still a GOAT. Yes, he is still the GOAT until he's knocked off. It's as simple as that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think Mahomes, is a very, very good quarterback, but Vic Fangio is a mastermind when it comes to defense, and he didn't allow it. He just put so much pressure. He kind of looked like, a toddler, that stole a cookie from the kitchen and is just running around. And, he made him look human. And that's what as a defensive coordinator, that's what you want to do. You want to put the pressure on them and make them make the mistakes. And they did. You saw Patrick throw interception. He threw off his back foot. He was running around getting chased. And that's what happens. A lot of that was due to the defense. The offense played good enough. The defense returned a touchdown. I mean, it was very one-sided. So I'm not sure how entertaining it was if you weren't cheering against Kansas City, but at the same time, yeah, go ahead.
What does this prove to the Bears, right? Trenches. Like that's all this proves, is that if you want to build a team, build it from the trenches out. Like, we have a great secondary, but I mean, just watching that pass rush get to Pat Mahomes 5 times, 2 turnovers, a forced fumble. I mean, what more can you say than, Jalen Carter and those edge rushers and Bond and Cooper DeJean got it done. I mean, they made the Kansas City Chiefs look horrible. It's not like the Chiefs, they're not really pushovers either. I mean, they have DeAndre Hopkins, they have Kelsey, they have plenty of weapons, but they couldn't get anything done.
Yeah, they had mostly passing plays and then didn't even establish the run in the beginning. I mean, not that they could do anything. Again, trenches, secondary with them, but I would have loved to see the bars that are in Chicago that I know that are Chief bars, just a little webcam access to see the sad faces. I would have loved to go do that. But yeah, I don't know. I just think it, one-sided. You knew off the first drive, and then when the Chiefs come, it's like they look distraught. You got them right away, and then there's only 23 yards in the first half. And
it was bad football for Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't do anything. They really couldn't, and it was, I mean, we were excited because we were all for the Eagles, but at the same time, I did want a competitive game. I wanted to see, a shootout or a very close game at the end, that it comes down to the last possession. That's what you want the Super Bowl. A blowout to me, it's great. Like I said, for Philadelphia, and they won, and that's their second title. But at the same time, I did want a game that you're at the edge of your seat. And that's what I feel like the Super Bowl should be. It should be like the most competitive game. I hate seeing blowouts, especially when it comes to the final. Israel's chiming in. Apparently he had the flu last week. He says he had the chicken flu, so he can't produce any more eggs. All right.
Good to know.
Good to know. I mean, eggs are pretty expensive.
He must have been hanging out by the lakefront where all the bird flu bodies were. I don't know. I don't know if you guys saw that article, but yeah, a lot of
I stay away from the lake. Stay away from the lake right now until the summer.
Well, even so, stay away.
Yeah, JC, who is the football guru of the group, anybody on Philadelphia you would want to pluck onto the Bears?
Like as a free agent?
Free agents.
Not really from like free agent aspects.
Isn't
I mean, if I could
Sweat?
take one guy off the team, yeah, Sweat, I believe, but the guy that I would love to have off of the Eagles is Jalen Carter. Oh wait, the guy that the Bears passed up
twice. Passed him up twice.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, Jervon Dexter is suitable for the Bears. He does a halfway decent job, but Carter is the better talent. You know, as for the Kansas City Chiefs, we all know who the guy is on the Chiefs that we want to pluck. That's Trey Smith. You know, and it's looking ever more likely that the Bears are going to have an opportunity. We're going to have to outbid some other teams that have some cash. But, you know, hopefully the Bears can get that done. We'll see.
What kind of contract do you think it's going to take for the Bears to get him?
Oof. Give me a few minutes. Let me look up some contracts of some offensive guards and let me see what we can.
Yeah, while you're doing that, Stevie B, what you think of the halftime show? It's not like us.
Not a fan.
Oh.
It was good, but it just I didn't feel like it had enough entertainment. Like not enough oomph. Like it looked like a hockey rink at one point, and then I just didn't have that like Katy Perry like fire and like I don't know like
that was the whole thing. It was going against the whole music industry. That's the message that he was doing. That you're not going to tell me what to do, how to do it, and when to do it.
Well, then it wasn't for me. It was a little stale. It was a little stale, and he only has a couple hits.
Yeah, I was gonna say to me, like I don't know much of Kendrick Lamar, so it's one of those where, you know, to me, like when you get an artist that does the Super Bowl, like you want somebody with a catalog of hits, like, you know, the Bruno Mars, the, you know, Maroon 5s, you know, even some of the older bands. I know the younger crowd doesn't necessarily want that, but
right.
I mean, even bringing in like a Post Malone or the what was it, a year ago that they did where it was like Eminem, Dre, Snoop.
I think that was
where
3 years
it's
ago.
a plethora of artists, not just one artist doing a show. So like had it been like Kendrick and I don't know, name another artist.
SZA was there. She did a song and then yeah, I was expecting someone else to come in. Some people were saying, you know, have Drake on there, you know.
No, that wouldn't well.
It wouldn't work. No, but I'm just saying, like, you know, a couple other people, maybe two more, you know, male, female, whichever.
Like Kendrick and say Childish Gambino, maybe, you know.
I don't know.
I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
I enjoyed it for what it was, what the message was, and I did love the whole diss track was able to be at Super Bowl. I think that was phenomenal. I think production was actually pretty good. What you guys are saying is like you felt that it was lackluster in because you didn't know him. I mean, that's okay. You don't. I mean, sometimes, you know, like you said, the younger crowd doesn't know Aerosmith or whoever, you know, these older bands that come in and do it. So you're never going to appease everyone. That's not going to happen. But to your point, I could have been like, all right, cool. Who else are you going to bring out? He did have two other cameos up there. Mustard, I think, is something Mustard to rap. I don't know. This is all new stuff. You know, I'm just learning as we go because, you know, the kids listen to it. So they put me on some of this stuff. But yeah, I can see where you want an ensemble for the Super Bowl. So you get a little bit of a mix of everything. I think that's, you know, it's the Super Bowl. You should have something, unless you're Prince, unless you're Michael Jackson. You know, I guess, I mean, I don't even want to say her name. I don't think she can carry it. She did have a good show, but I don't want to say her name. You know, she did win country the album of the year, but I think that was paid for. So I wouldn't. Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry. Like, not only that, they come out and they say like she had 72 writers on that album.
Of course.
Like, what? Like, no,
it was completely manufactured. Yes.
Yeah. Well, not only that, it's like, oh, like country is like such a hit right now, which like I'm not a big country fan, but I mean, you look at like
Really?
when there's a country album, like it takes off pretty well. Like I mean, like there are some country artists that are like in the top 10 for like, you know, stadium sales and everything else, and you know, like to me, it's just her jumping on a how can I cash grab, and I don't like it. So,
Yeah.
like I said, yeah, to me, like I said, like I loved the Bruno Mars halftime show.
That was great.
I really liked the Dre.
The Weekend was great.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Weekend was fantastic. Oh,
yeah, I didn't
mean,
like the Weekend,
yeah,
but
I don't know. I also
like,
think go ahead.
like I said, I don't. I'm being honest. I don't know much of Kendrick Lamar's music, but to me, it's like I don't mind he has the opportunity to do the Super Bowl, but like I said, you know, like okay, maybe he does 2 songs, Childish Gambino does 2 songs, and then you know bring in one other artist that does 1 song, so it's kind of like you know not just one person's catalog that isn't that strong or not that known,
Hmm.
or even like I would love to see like a collab of like, hey, you bring in like, you know, some band and like they do hits of another band, you know what I mean? So they're not singing their own music, but they're singing hits that everybody knows, and they're doing some kind of cool cover of somebody else's music. Like I would enjoy that.
I can see that. Like if you were to put like Bruno Mars and he would be able to cover, because he can, because he's that talented. Like he would cover like a Michael Jackson song, a Prince song, and like
Yeah.
Bruno Mars can do anybody. You know, he can do anything. He's just that talented. And then you pair him up with 2 other artists, and they do a collaboration. Yeah, that'd be great. It would be probably one of the best ones, right? But there people are there was a lot of backlash, I want to say, for the halftime show, just because they didn't know who the artist was. But it goes both ways, right? If you have an older good band that is only playing their hits from 20, 30 years ago, and then your young crowd is not engaged in it, so you're not going to appease everybody. And like you said, or all of us, we said we should have a collaboration where we have past, present, and future artists all together, and then it'll be fun.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, like you bring in, say, like Slash, or
Metallica.
like the drummer Travis Barker playing with Kendrick Lamar. Something like I said, like where you get a collab of 2 artists together, putting out a song. Like something I saw that I thought was really cool on the internet the other day was like an emo band covering Pharrell Williams' Happy. And it's basically like, does it emo? Like, does it like, can we make this work? Like take his song and make it into like an emo version that would sound really cool in like an emo like setting. Yeah,
I did hear a Selena, this dude on Instagram. I forgot, I should have followed it. It kept, once I opened my app and closed it, and I lost him. He covered Selena, so he did like the first beginning of the song, and then when he's about to get to the chorus, he makes it all emo from there on. So he's just like screaming, and but it sounded great. Like,
yeah,
I'm like, it works, because anything that's a romantical song, you can make it into an emo song and just make it get your own, so it'll work. So yeah, I mean, I'm down with that.
Yeah, like I said, to me, it's just one of those, like, there's so many great bands out there that, like I said, like Blink 182, or even some of these other bands, like Travis Barker plays with people all the time, and like even Post Malone right now, Post's doing kind of a country whatever with Jelly Roll. They're doing like their own tour right now. So like I said, I mean, like, as long as people are genuine about it, where I don't think Beyonce is very genuine about, going into a different genre. I think it's, like I said, I think it's just a cash grab personally.
Well, that's exactly what Kendrick Lamar was kind of with his shows, protesting, like, the machine's not going to do this. They're going to tell me what to do, how to do it, and so forth. You know, he was talking about like those type of artists like Drake and so forth, where they just push it out because they have the labels pushing that cash cow, you know, to the radio stations and everything. And it's just like, you're not going to tell me what to love. You know, if it's good music, it's good music. It'll be, if it's out, it'll find its way to the top.
Yeah. But I will add this. I did see that, you know, the whole Drake, Kendrick with
Serena Williams.
Serena Williams. I wanted to say Selena because you said Selena, and then I'm like, no, that's not the right name. Serena Williams. I thought that was hilarious.
I didn't even know he dated her. I didn't even know that.
Way to troll. I applaud that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, you know what? My biggest thing is, as long as the person sounds good, puts on a good performance, I don't care. Like, to me, the worst thing is to put somebody out there singing the national anthem.
Oh God.
And they sound god awful. Like, their voice is messed up. They're like, I think I watched a New Year's Eve show, and it was like Mariah Carey live in like Times Square, and she just sounded horrible.
She sounded horrible. Her mic went out. Her earpiece went out. Everything went out.
And it was just like, no, like, I don't care that your earpiece went out. Like, take it out, and like, you, like, as a performer, you know. But she doesn't perform that often. I don't know how she deals with her vocal, you know, keeping up with stuff, you know. But my whole thing is just put somebody out there that can perform, you know, and can put on a good show. That's all I care about. You know, like, to me, half the time, you know, halftime, I get up and grab some snacks, grab another beer, grab drinks, you know, like, the performer, like, it's kind of background noise to me. So, like, it doesn't really matter. I don't care. I think Prince was like the last one that I was like, no, I got to sit here and actually watch this, you know, halftime show.
Yeah, I would say Prince and Michael were for me, the two top performances. I mean, there's been a lot of really good ones, and there's been a lot of lackluster ones. But definitely the Prince one, when he sang Purple Rain and it started raining, like, you can't write a script that way. Like, it just,
that was fake rain by the government putting it down. So
cloud seeding.
Yeah. Also, during that halftime, I saw like maybe 2 minutes of it, or like, then I came back because me and Sean, he had to go downstairs and use the restroom, and then so did I. So by the time we came back, it was like kind of the end. Then I rewatched.
What, you didn't cross streams?
No, we don't want to cross that stream. After eating pizza and salsa and chips and drinks, and yeah, so yeah, so you know what we're doing. If you don't know, now you know. But no, other than that, it was fine. Like, I was just ready to get back because it's a long half. Like, that's a good 25 minutes.
I think it's 40, no?
I don't know. It was a long one, and I was like, man.
I mean, yeah, the performance might be 25 minutes, but I know it's like halftime's 40 minutes.
Yeah. So
on and off the
stage, take the stage down, everything else. Getting back to some football stuff, I did look up the contracts.
Beautiful.
So the top paid guard in the NFL right now is Landon Dickerson from the Philadelphia Eagles. He is making $21 million a year at 4 years, $84 million.
Okay. So pay the man 25.
No, I wouldn't jump to 25, but I would jump to somewhere between 23, 24. You know, maybe a 5-year deal, or maybe he does want the shorter contract and a 3 to 4 year deal. Because he is still young. He's 25. So if he wants to do like a 3-year deal and still get another contract after that, you know, we'll see what he wants to do. But
you align it with Caleb's contract. That's what you need to do. Everyone should be aligned with Caleb's contract.
But I mean, that said, I mean, you know, looking it up, offensive guards, not that expensive at $21 million as the top paid guard. So that's affordable. I would say that's a doable contract for the Bears, and that would still leave us with, you know, 39, 38 million. because I think we're at like 65 or 64 million in cap space.
It's almost
Um,
66. Yeah.
Yeah, we're somewhere in the 60s. So like I said, that still leaves us somewhere around 40 million, 38 million.
That's
to
probably like
still
two more
play around.
people, and that's it.
Well, the other person I mentioned was Ryan Kelly. He's a center out of Indianapolis. There's another center out of Atlanta. But if you can pair those two guys up and walk away with Will Campbell at 10, that completely restructures the interior offensive line. You have Will Campbell, Ryan Kelly, Trey Smith, and then you have Darnell Wright and Braxton Jones. That completely restructures your whole offensive line. Yeah, we still need to look for a left tackle, but you know, there's really not that many true left tackles in this draft. A lot of guys with short arms and other issues that, you know, they're not really looked at as a true left tackle. A lot of guys are getting moved inside because of their size, height, athleticism, etc.
Well, when does off season begin? When does that start happening?
Today, it starts today, sir.
I mean, officially, when can you start talking to free agents and signing people?
Oh, that's a long time away. Free agency is usually a week to 2 weeks before the draft, I believe. And then usually they can only, I think it's like a 48-hour tampering period.
Yeah,
Like you can talk and discuss contracts, but you can't officially sign them
yeah,
till the open free agency, which kind of ruins things for me because I used to love the fanfare of like Julius Peppers is getting on a plane and he's coming to Chicago. Nowadays, it's like as soon as the tampering period opens, it's like, yeah, so and so signed a contract, but he's, you know, it's not as crazy as it used to be because of the new tampering period.
well, that's your Super Bowl right there when the free agency and the draft starts.
Yeah, you know, like I love the off season. You know, as you guys know, I'm a nerd for watching film and looking at prospects and, you know, finding the young talent out there. But you know, it's one of those. That's kind of my thing. I love the football season. I especially love fantasy football, but I don't know why. I kind of geek out about the front office stuff of like finding and talent. Like I just enjoy that aspect of it.
Yeah, I totally hear you. Let's pivot over to some sad news, especially some Chicago Bears sad news. Virginia Hallis McCaskey, the only daughter of Pro Football Hall of Famer George Hallis and Bears principal owner since 1983, had passed away this past week at the age of 102. Miss McCaskey was born January 5th, 1923, less than 3 years after her father founded the Bears as the Decatur Staleys and helped create what we now know as the NFL. So she's the matriarch of the Chicago Bears. You know, she assumed control of the Bears in her 60s after her father's passing in 1983, followed by capturing 5 straight NFC Central Division championships. We got a Super Bowl in 85. And she was recently asked if by a Bears fan about, you know, what it's like to be a Bears fan. She's like, I think our Bears fans are wonderful. I'm so glad everyone's learning the Bears fight song. I thought it was one of my favorite parts of the Sunday celebration. Yeah, she was, you know, there was not a lot of interviews. She wasn't really present and, you know, in the media. You would get to see a glimpse to her, and during the game, she would be in the box and watching the games. But I know she would travel as much as she could to go see the games, and she was well loved and respected by a lot of the players who came in. Like Urlacher spoke about her, and Charles Tillman. Like they all went on media and talked how great she was, and it's sad. It's sad, you know. She lived a long life. I mean, she saw pretty much just about every player before that came into the Chicago Bears. She saw them play. So Any words, boys, on Virginia McCaskey?
Everything you said, it is sad. It's part of life. And then she lives very long. 102, man. Put me out before that. No, I can't do that. But good for her. I just see what's going to happen. I know they're making arrangements to see who's going to be in control in that, and we'll find out shortly about that. But yeah, I mean, every photo, every glimpse, she'd be at spring training. I think this past offseason or a couple of off seasons, and always a smile on her face. Any picture, she always looked glad to be there. She talked to everyone I know of, and just genuine and very humbling woman. So I think that's something that everyone also appreciated, because she wasn't like, mean owner, or like didn't want to talk to any of the fans. She was present, she was there, she was nice to everyone. So I think that was really sweet.
JC?
I'll say this to the Bears fans that, I know we're all critical of the Bears, and we're all fans. We love the Bears. But to anyone that, celebrated this situation, shame on you, because you know what? She loved the Bears truly and honestly. It was something that brought her great joy. And I'm sure that she wished she had won more than one Super Bowl. But unfortunately, where her father was a great football mind, she grew up and probably wasn't given, all the knowledge that it takes to be, a great football mind like her father. She ran things the best way she could. She tried to put people in place. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. And that said, there's plenty of times and plenty of people that spoke very highly of her throughout the league, and how much she meant as like the matriarch, as one of the original teams in the NFL. You think about how many teams have gone through 2 or 3 owners now. The Jacksonville Jaguars are a new organization, and think about it. They've had more owners than the Bears, and the Bears have been around forever. So it's one of those where you sit there and just say, look, we understand that, you wanted, believe me, she didn't want to sit up in that booth and watch the Bears lose.
No,
she was very vocal a couple of years ago, when we brought Nagy in, that her goal was to see a championship before she passed. And unfortunately, it just didn't come to fruition. I think that the team that's being put together has a good chance of doing so in the next couple of years. But that said, only one team can win every single year. And it's a tough road. And as we see, it's the team that gets hot at the right time. The Eagles, that was them. I mean, the whole playoffs, they destroyed every opponent they went across, and that's kind of the mindset that the Bears need to find, the type of, just the wherewithal to compete at the highest level. And I hope they do it in her honor, and I hope it happens soon in for her, but again, to all those Bears fans that, good, great, sell the team, this, that, or the other thing, shame on you for being like that, because, she truly did care about the organization, unlike some of the owners of other Chicago teams,
right?
That they're just in it for the money. They're just in it for, whatever, because, you look at the Bulls, the Sox, etc., where, hey, all we got to do is put out a mediocre product and we'll make millions of dollars every year, and that's all we care about. They don't care about winning. They just care about making money. Where, I don't think the Bears have ever done things that way. I think their goal was to win. Unfortunately, it just didn't pan out.
Yeah, I did get to meet her at one of like a Bears Fest or whatever, and I actually have, I don't know if you guys can see that. She actually signed,
that's pretty cool.
She signed my football. And she was
How many
there.
signatures you got on there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on this one. Tom Thayer. I can't read that one. Jim Hillenberg. Can't read that one. Oh, is that Keith? Number 70. Keith, was it? I want to say Keith Van Horn, but that was NBA. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I don't know who that is. Number 63. And then I have her, and I don't know who this is. George something. Oh, George McCaskey. So her, and I got both of them on there. She was sweet. She was sweet. She stopped me. Her daughter stopped me because I had a Bears shirt with the original logo on it. Usually people would wear the big C or just the image of the bear, and I had the original logo of the Bears. I bought a shirt, and they stopped me like, "Where'd you get this shirt?" And I was like, "Oh, I think I got it at Kohl's." She's like, "No way! I'm gonna have to go to Kohl's now and go get it." I'm like, "Oh, you own the team. You can get whatever you want, lady."
Yeah.
I so happened every time I go to one of those fests, I usually bring a book bag with a bunch of like footballs, baseballs, whatever, because I know I might bump into somebody and they sign something. So I was like, "Hey, would your mom might like sign my football?" She's like, "Yeah, come on over." She's like, "We're friends now." I'm like, "Okay, I love that." So yeah, she was super sweet.
Man, can I get one share of the Bears? 1%.
I would have said, "Can I get a job?"
Well, by
I want a job with Jerry because you never get fired.
No, you just get promoted.
Exactly.
I mean,
get promoted.
That's the kind of job I want. Always three things I would always say. I was broke when I got here. You're doing a great job, boss, and it wasn't me. Mm-hmm. So 3 things how to succeed if you're the organization for the White Sox or the Bulls. Those 3 things. It was broke when I got here. Yeah, so that's really nice. That's a great story, Big Z.
Yeah, thanks. There's another sad story from the Chicago Bears. Former Bears head coach Dick Duran passed away this week as well after a brief illness. He was 74. Duran spent 36 seasons in the NFL, 8 as a player and 28 as a coach. He serves as the Bears head coach from 99 to 2003. He was named the NFL coach in 2001 after leading the Bears to the NFC Central Championship with a 13-3 record. Jim was also interim head coach with the Lions in 2005 and the Bills head coach from 2006 to 2009. He recently was the Browns defensive coordinator from 2011 to 2012. So I do remember those early Bears seasons, and it was nice to actually turn it around, for a very short time. But I thought he was a pretty good coach for the Bears. I mean, not many coaches got us to 13-3. So you got Nagy with that 1 year. You got Lovey. You got Dick Duran. Definitely another. It's a very hard week for the Chicago Bears fans, and to lose a coach and the matriarch of the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, I don't remember much. I think I was 9 or 10 and really wasn't. I was playing video games, so I take your word for it, guys. But later on, I of course got into it. But yeah, JC, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat as you. Kind of young for middle years. Growing up. You're a child at that time. You're still a Bears fan, but you don't know who, your favorite players, but you don't really know the coaches,
right?
When you're younger, of Mike Ditka or of Lovie Smith or whatever, but you don't really follow them or what their career has been or how good they are as a coach when you're young. But again, yeah, like we said, sad time for the Bears that you never want to see anybody pass away. Especially 71. That's not 74. Young, but or 74. It's not young, but it's not 102 either. So condolences to the family.
Absolutely.
I hope everything turns out for the family. And go Bears.
Go Bears.
Absolutely. Go Bears.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break, 60 seconds. You'll hear Stevie B's voice on the new commercial. And we'll be right back. We'll wrap it up with some Bulls and baseball. So don't go anywhere.
Hey there, Chicago enthusiasts. Are you ready to take your fandom to the next level? The True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast has got you covered with some serious cool merch that screams Chicago pride. From cozy sweaters to trendy tank tops, we got it all. Show off your love for the city with our iconic red, white, and blue logo, or stand out with our exclusive collection for the love of sports. Whether you're lounging at home, breaking a sweat at the gym, or cheering on your team at a game, our gear is a must-have for all you diehard Chicago sports fans out there. Don't hesitate. Visit bonfire.com/store/606-media-store/. Or simply just click the link in the description and snag your gear ASAP. Get ready to make some noise, show your pride, and embrace the Chicago spirit with True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast merch. Designed for you, the ultimate fan, for the love of sports.
Oh, look at that, JC. We got to get your company on here, man, with your logo and all that stuff. We'll have Stevie B do another voiceover. There it. Oh, he switched his hats. That's a nice one. That matches my hoodie and all that stuff. I'll make it as simple. Just you see at the bottom right there, it says 606media.com. Go there, you hit the merch button, it'll take you straight to the store. You don't have to worry about typing anything, just go straight there. Again, all the podcasts.
You got to make more of those hats for us. We'll just drive over there and pay you cash.
Right.
That's the way to do it. I love cash.
Cash is king. But yeah, go down to 606media.com and get those
you find all the podcasts, all the merch. We got to get No Water in a Weekend. No Water in a Weekend merch up on there pretty soon, or we can just do it through JC. So again, this is just temporary until we get everything set up. So again, welcome back to TCSF podcast. JC's with us. We got Stevie B. We'll talk a little bit of Chicago Bulls. The Chicago Bulls, finally made some trades. Didn't get any draft picks. They got their own. But yeah, exactly.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah. And it's crazy because they won their first game after that. And then they got demolished by a real team called the Minnesota Timberwolves. They got blown out by the Warriors. Well, they got, the thing is that they were up 18 or something like that on the Warriors. And then Steph's like, all right, this is enough. This team sucks. I can do this on my own. And just started shooting lights out. And
then Jimmy Butler is playing against the Bulls, and he wants to show off. So
he always plays very well against the Bulls, and it was also the 1-year anniversary of his father's passing. That's why he had Butler the third on it.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was like, why? Since when did he put the third? And then I read that it was a 1-year anniversary. So I know that Jimmy's happy, and Jimmy's always happy at the beginning, and then he just turns sour like milk. It's just bad. I don't know.
I saw a great video of Jimmy Butler not being happy already in California because it cost him like $159 to fill his gas tank.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, you got to be kidding me. He's like, can I send this bill somewhere? Like, get a tax return? Like, good Lord.
Yeah, it's hey, you make that money, and maybe he's trying to be frugal, but you make money and you're getting taxed in California. You're not getting all that money.
You figure the gasoline in Florida is probably what, like $3 a gallon, versus like California, it's probably like $7-8.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's expensive in that Bay Area for gas. So welcome to what you wanted.
Right. And I don't think they play in San Francisco either. I think they play outside of it, just like every other one of those teams. So and you got to drive everywhere in California. It's one big vast a suburb. That's how I feel like when I went to California. I went to LA, I'm like, this is just one big suburb. Like, it's just huge. Where like Chicago, New York, Boston, there's I know they're very older cities, but there's like a rhyme and reason. There's it's a grid, or there's structure to it. Over there, it's we're spread out everywhere. Well, anyways, he's got money. He can deal with that. The Bulls received guards Kevin Hutter from Sacramento in exchange for Zach LaVine and draft considerations. We got Trey Jones, guard Trey Jones, forward Zach Collins, and draft considerations from San Antonio, which is their own pick, which would have been fine because it would have fell off because it was top 10 protected. We're not going to get higher than, we're not going to get 10 pick. They waived Torrey Craig and Chris Duarte, who they signed this year. They signed Chris this year. He didn't get much playing time anyways. So now we have like 12 guards on this team with Ayo, Cody, Lonzo, Giddy. Jesus, it's like, what are we doing here? What's the direction? And I feel like they don't know what they're doing.
And we re-signed Lonzo to a 2-year, $20 million extension.
Again, like we just said, you're failing to success. I don't play for 2 years. We're going to reward you with another 2-year contract. Come on down. Hey, Patrick Williams, we got $90 million. Do you want it? Hey, yeah, sure. Of course.
Why not?
What is this admin doing? AK needs to be fired today. Actually, they should have been fired last week for the inept of making trades.
Honestly, though, if you think about it, 2 years, $20 million, that's not a bad contract. I mean, considering that like some of your bench guys are getting paid 16, 20 million.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, it's not a terrible contract, but at the same time, you know, it's an insurance of, you know, if Giddy gets hurt, you know, you still have someone behind him. But yeah, to have 12 guards on the roster or whatever it is, like what? Like, what are we doing? But you know, to not get rid of Vooch, like what are we doing? What happened?
Apparently that the highest offer was like a second round pick.
Like I understand that Golden State pulled the trigger on Jimmy, but wasn't Vooch part of that? In like everybody was saying like Vooch to Golden State was like the best option, and now like, you know,
it fell apart. It fell apart. It's as simple as that. It just fell apart. I'm looking at it right now. All right, so they got Lonzo Ball, Javon Carter. They got Ayo. They got Josh Giddey. They got Kevin Huerter, whatever his name is. Trey Jones, Kobe White, all guards, and then a bunch of very small forwards that are 6'6", 6'7". I mean, Vooch is not even a true center. He's 6'10". Who's the other kid that we got? Adama Sangono. He's the center. He's 6'9". Like, we don't have any size, so we can't rebound. We've got a bunch of guards, one ball. I understand we wanted everybody to get traded, but we also wanted value. We wanted trade for value and some picks so that way we can restart another rebuild. But it's like they can't even do that right. They can't even tank correctly.
No, we were involved in a trade that had a lot of picks. They just didn't come to us.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are we doing? You know, like, and I understand like the value of Zach LaVine was not great. You know, for whatever reason, the NBA is down on him, you know, and probably deservedly so. But, you know, in a league where there's only first and second round picks in a draft, we're getting offered seconds. You know, the NFL draft, there's 7 rounds, you know, like there's a reason why you get offered third and fourths. But
yeah, there's still value there.
To not get a first in the NBA, 1 first, if not 2 firsts for a player, like you're failing as an organization.
Absolutely. I'm not going to go to any Bulls games. I'm going to boycott it. I know I wore a hat last week, but I mean, just the staple of what it was built on and how lucky we get, you know, to get Jordan, to get Pippen, to eventually all those draft things, picks, trades, whatnot. I don't know. It seems like we're waiting to strike gold because we had gotten Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah and then Luol Deng and Kurt Heinrich. Like you actually had pieces that you were acquiring. Now it's like we're not acquiring anything. Like we're saying we have 10 guards. Why aren't we getting someone else who's a big man? Why did we let Drummond go? Why did we, you know, now we're scoring, but we have no defense, really. So I know
Well,
the
that's
league
the
is
whole
all
thing.
offense, but still, like it's a hard thing. Like again, we don't know where they're doing. Off season, I'm just ready for the playoffs to actually start soon, and eventually. I mean, I don't know. It's just frustrating and really, there's like nothing to really look forward to when you go to a Bulls game.
Well, I
No,
mean,
they shouldn't win another game at all. Really, to be honest with you, I don't want them to win another game. And the problem is that you got pretty good pieces in Kobe and Io and Lonzo and Vooch that can win you games. And and players got to play. I understand that players are going to do whatever they're going to try to win. Or the organization needs to be like, Vooch, doesn't your back hurt? I need you to go sit down for like 2 weeks and then come back and play one game and then be out for another 2 weeks, because there's no reason and I love Vooch as an offensive scorer, double machine. If he's used right, he can get you 25 to 30 points a night and 10 rebounds. But against bigger centers, against the Embiids and the Giannis, is like he shrinks and he gets intimidated. He doesn't play well against those guys. You should have traded him. I think they'll trade him in the offseason, if not renew him. I can see a scenario where they renew him.
Yeah, same.
If the highest you got was a second for him now, what are you going to get in the offseason?
Exactly.
Nothing.
With less time on a contract. Yeah.
The Bulls organization needs to be blown up and start over.
It probably won't this upcoming season when after we're done, but I don't know. That building is going to be very quiet after the season's over with, and everyone's going to go on sabbatical for a bit and wait till probably 2 weeks. Oh, everyone come into the office. Let's have a powwow meeting, and we'll figure this out in 2 weeks. Kind of seems like you're going into that like unprepared, no plan of success. It's just like everyone keep doing what you're doing. We'll get there. It's like you've got a 84 Honda. And you're just still, or 93 Honda, I'll even say, or 98. And you're just thinking this thing's going to keep going. We got this car. We'll add some new parts to it. It's going to work like a beaut. And it's not. It's still a piece of shit 1998 Honda.
Hey, Hondas run forever, man.
Well, so does my Mitsubishi, but it's in the shop right now. But besides the point, it's in the shop. I can't get, I have to start it every day or else the battery dies. But my point being is like you're preserving the three-peat, 2 3-peats, right? And then you get close because you go against LeBron and then you lose and then Derrick Rose gets hurt. And then we do all this what if stuff. And then now it's like, there's no what if, it's what are we doing? But yeah, I'm not going to, I haven't watched one game at all. And if I do see it, it's on, it's at a bar. If I'm there, if I'm not going to watch it.
No, it's on the background while I'm playing MLB The Show or whatever, just because I know how this is going to turn out. Like the Golden State game, I'm like, I should have bet it. I should have, they were down 14 or 18 points. I'm like, Golden State's going to come back. I should have bet it. And I'm like, no, I did it, and then whatever. But yeah, that's what you're going to see. You see the Bulls come out on fire at the beginning, or they're going to be lackluster and get blown out. It's just going to be bad basketball. I mean, I know the NBA's already. We talked about this ad nauseum with the NBA being bad basketball as it is. But there's nothing to cheer for right now in Chicago. All right, let's transition over to our.
I do want to say one last thing. So Nate Robinson needed a kidney transplant, and he did get one from a liver donor. So hopefully he's in the hospital. He's recovering. Everything seems to be going super smooth. So I'm glad to hear Nate the Great got what he needed to still be here with us, because he was exciting. He was fun. Even when the Bulls weren't doing so great, or they were, but it was still fun to watch. Yeah,
definitely. Nate was one of the smallest big man. Definitely the heart of a big man and the size of a little man. But man, can that guy play? And he when Derrick went down, he stepped up and he did what he could to win some games for us. So shout out to Nate Robinson. Hope you feel better, buddy. Baseball. Are we excited about baseball? Because the Cubs will be reporting soon, and the White Sox as well. But the Cubs look like they're going to be playing a little sooner than everybody else because they'll be playing in Japan versus the Los Angeles Dodgers, March 18th and 19th. So within a little bit over a month from now, there's baseball. I know I'm excited to see that just because the champs. That's right, the Dodgers, my second team.
Los Doyers.
Warriors, that's right. They pretty much picked up every All-Star and kind of looks like my MLB team on PlayStation.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, if you look up and down the Cubs roster, it's not a bad roster. Very defensively sound. It's going to be like they're going to save runs and win some games because they can play really good defense. The pitchings look strong. I'm unsure about the bullpen right now. They did sign a closer from the Astros.
Houston,
Ryan Presley. You got Tucker, right? Another bat for to replace Bellinger. I mean, there's some light here, and I know, like, as baseball fans or even Cub fans, you guys are like, "Oh my God, why did we get the biggest free agent? Oh my God, why are we spending so much money?" I really think that while I give them a lot of shit for not spending any money, but they are doing it kind of the right way, where they're not spending too much money on these players to have more money to spend around the whole team. They have a really good defensive team. I still think they need a big bopper. They need a bat that the MLB is afraid to pitch to, and that's what you don't have. So,
right.
I don't know. What is your thoughts on the Cubs?
So they're discussing to sign Justin Turner if Alex Bregman doesn't happen.
Ew.
Now, Justin Turner has some
Dodger.
history with the Cubs. And not in a good way, with the fans, I should say. Not really with maybe the Cubs, but he said some things in the postseason. I mean, it's trash talk. Of course, that's going to happen. I think everyone holds on to that. He is a bat. I don't know if he could hit as hard as he can, like he was, like a couple, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3. But I really like this Alex Bregman. But it's the tweet you sent out yesterday with Justin Seal, something's brewing or something's interesting. That got me thinking that we're close to Alex Bregman. And I would like that signing. But again, are we going to have to extend him? What's going to have to go on with that? So we'll see.
I think Bregman wants a 6-year contract. Detroit's only offering 5. I'm not sure what the Cubs are offering at the moment. I think they're doing like a 3 with opt-outs or something like that. So he's got some options. And I think because a lot of the baseball players right now, especially Boris clients, they thought they were going to get a big bag, and now they're getting the 1-year contracts and a lot less money. You saw Pete Alonso; he could have got a huge extension, didn't sign it, signed a short-term contract for less money. Belly, same thing. Like, you've seen a lot of these players trying to hold out and squeeze the as much juice out of the orange as possible, just because they're a Boris a client. It's starting to backfire. It really is starting to backfire of these players being greedy to get it. I mean, I say that because we don't make money, but like, they're trying to do their best to get the most money, but this baseball money is just astronomical for what they do. I mean, it's NBA is the same thing. I think NFL is still okay, and I think NHL is getting underpaid for the amount of work those boys do on the ice. So, are you excited to see this series against the Dodgers in Japan?
I mean, I am. I know Shota Imanaga is set to, for his tone for the sophomore year, right? Plus, he's going to be, back home. It's going to be exciting. That when he pitches, it's going to be electric. Because he's going to have, be comfortable, be excited. It's a 2-game series, I believe.
Yes, sir.
And I'm excited. It's going to be great. I don't know the time the game would start. I don't know what time zone, or I know what time zone, what time it is over there right now, and what time the game would be. Because for them, it'd probably be a night game. Because I don't think it would be a day game. I think it would be a night game for them. But again, with the roster moves, I think we have a solid core. I think we could win 88 games if everyone stays healthy and actually has the hitting bug. I know last season everyone just taking too many strikeouts. They were walking a lot, but they weren't, getting anyone mostly runs coming in. Or if one day they did, they would have 8-10 runs, and then the next day they'd have 1 or 0. I think that's the thing that was hurting us, being inconsistent when it came to batting, where we're swinging at. Look at the pitch count, not worrying about, just always hitting out the park, but playing smart baseball, at least easy, traditional baseball, getting across, stealing, just, I don't know. It just felt like it was great in the beginning, mid-season, started falling apart, and the end of the year, it's like, what are we doing? We're done.
Those games will be a 5:10 a.m. start time.
5 to 10, huh?
5:10 in the morning. That's when they'll be starting. So,
Oh,
Yeah,
God. That's the time I'm going to bed. Geez. Well, today the sun was already up. Yeah, not a good day. But yeah, so I mean, I'm going to have to watch it. If I get a job by then, maybe I would listen to it on the radio before, but I'm excited. I think it's going to be great. Do I think we're going to take both games? Absolutely not. Do I think we could have a chance to win one? Yeah, I think one. I think one, So another thing with the Dodgers, are they going to do the ring ceremony? Because they usually do it, but they're going to have to wait till they come home.
They'll do it when they get home.
Right,
they won't do it.
So what is it? So then are we both the home team, or is it one home game, or it doesn't even matter?
It doesn't even matter.
So yeah, I just think it's going to be fun. I'm going to text you in the morning. Wake up. Let's fight.
Are you gonna share that password, or you know what? Never mind. I'll get the instructions from JC.
There you go.
Do that.
I'll pay it for a couple months and then see where that goes. But I mean,
great.
right now it's like there's nothing. I took it off. Right now there's just highlights, Chicago Sky, and right now scouting reports a little bit.
Do they not?
Bang!
Do they not have don't they have like Northwestern or one of the colleges being
who's gonna watch that? I'm not gonna watch that. I'm not here to be watching college sports. Like, I'm here to watch the Cubs. I want to see some interviews, but and then it goes back.
College sports. Illinois college sports are horrible.
Both basketball and football teams are pretty good. What are you talking about?
No thanks.
We don't cover here because we don't have enough time to cover all that. I mean,
it's like a 2-hour show.
Name one Illinois school other than Northwestern that's like in Ohio and Alabama, a
powerhouse
guard.
No,
like,
we don't have any powerhouses. We get
in Illinois that's like a powerhouse, or like gives, like, Notre Dame is the closest thing to a Illinois sports team, and they're not even in Illinois.
No, they're not. No, but I mean, they fall into the same category with every sports team that we have here. They'll do a pop-up championship or a pop-up really good run, right? You had
every couple of years in the NCAA.
Yeah.
Northwestern will pop in every couple 3-4 years.
Same thing.
Yeah, but again, to me, it's one of those, like, I'm not paying to watch them. No. If they're on ESPN2 or some channel, like, what it used to be, 740 or 741 on ATTU verse but they shut that channel down, didn't they? The Chicago Sportsnet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's something else
right.
now. CHGN
SN.
or
SN, yeah.
Or SN. What?
No one's paying for that either. I get it over the air on 62.2 and 62.3. So
I will be getting that new powder blue jersey. So
I knew you would.
Like I said, I don't want to, but I gotta.
I
don't want her, but I need her. Okay.
I told you he was gonna get
know.
it.
I even said it was gonna happen. I was gonna get it. I was gonna fight tooth and nail. but I gotta have it. You know,
I like the colors, but I don't like the font. I'm not a fan of that kind of weird vaudeville font.
Well, it comes with a story behind it, but yeah, I mean, I just want to like look cool and like look hip.
Is it better than the last one?
The Wrigleyville one, and I think it is. Honestly, I think it is.
I think it is.
I liked, because when I'm playing the show, I like wearing those because I would have like the baby blue long socks on my player, right? Because I think the color scheme is kind of like no water. It's that dark navy and then that light blue, right? And I like that. But then also it's like the new ones, like it just looks good. I mean, the font, yeah, it has a story, but that color of it looks great.
Mm-hmm.
And I might get a hat, not at the same time, but just one step at a time. But God, I think when I'm not going to buy something from them, and then they sucker me back in. Like it's going to be like a $13 or $15 hot dog next season. I guarantee it. But I might as well bring my hot dogs, cook them here, and then take them in my Uber or drive over there and eat hot dogs at this point.
You can take food in there, can't you? I've seen families do that.
Yeah, I used to. When I was in high school and I'd go over there on a weekend, I'd go to the old McDonald's across the street. Now they tore it down, but they still have McDonald's.
Wait, you went to McDonald's over Taco Bell that was there?
Okay, if I was with a girl, I was not going to be eating Taco Bell because I would have had to go downstairs. Okay, so I grabbed the safe, but hey, let's go to McDonald's. That is quick and fast. Got to get the high C, man. High C every time. But
I see orange.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think you still can. But they look in it, and then they might snag a couple fries. But yeah, I don't know. JC, are you excited for the season? Are you happy? Are you pumped up as much as I am? Because I'm ready for baseball. Even though we might be disappointed, we might be an 88 team again. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm ready for some of these prospects to start coming up for the Cubs. The pitcher that was supposed to come up last year, Horton, I think it is.
Cade Horton.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like I'm ready for him to come up and show what he's got. Whether he's ready or not, we'll find out. Now they're talking about the third baseman Shaw potentially being the starter at third base if we don't, get Bregman. We'll see. Like I said, to me, it's one of those we got to start doing something, and whether Shaw's the guy or not, we'll find out. But at the same time, like, the Cubs I think they have made really good moves. They brought in great pitching and bullpen and everything else to at least be better than what it was last year. And like I said, hopefully we can be more consistent. I think Bellinger was part of the issue of, inconsistency. He would play very well for a couple game stretch and then disappear, and then play good for a couple game stretch and then disappear. And that's kind of how the whole Cubs team was last year. And, for a team that plays in one of the smallest fields in the MLB, I mean, we got to put points on the board. I went to a game last year and it was one of those, like, every hit that the Cubs had went directly to, like, the fielder didn't have to move 2 feet to the left, 2 feet to the right. Like, they just stood exactly where they were, and that's where the ball went. So, I've always been a fan of small ball. Getting on base, moving the runner. Seeing home runs is fantastic. It's exciting. It's whatever. But at the same time, when you live and die with the long ball, you can die pretty badly by not being able to hit homers.
That's what happened with the Yankees. Like, they had big time hitters, but they weren't getting even on base or hitting home runs. And then even if they had people on base, they couldn't move them over or get a home run. And the weirdest thing is Rizzo is still unsigned. And not saying that he has to come back. I'm just saying it's shocking that no other team wants to grab him.
It's because he's consistently hurt.
That is
I
true.
was gonna say consistently hurt. Plus,
But how does what's his face Moncada got to deal with the Angels?
He's younger, and it's the Angels. They're not going anywhere. They just need to fill their roster. It's for $5 million. I mean,
He's still getting paid.
him and Tim Anderson might be playing together for the Angels. So, I mean, sometimes a change of scenery works out for some guys. And I mean, this is a good transition. We're going to talk about the White Sox. A lot of those Sox players are starting to see what it's like in actual real life. You got your Eloy went to the Orioles, then he got demoted. I think he might be in Tampa Bay. Moncada and Tim Anderson are with the Angels. I think Galvin Sheets is somewhere in the West Coast. He just signed something. Especially for like the Moncada, the Eloys, those players were highly touted when they got picked up, drafted, international pool, whatever. They were given big contracts for no production. So you kill the hunger. Whereas you have a high school baseball player, he gets drafted, he's got to play in the minor leagues for 4, 5, 6 years. He stays hungry to get to the show. If you don't have that hunger, why? Oh, my hamstring hurts. Oh, my abdominal hurts. Oh. Then you have the NBA, right? You have Joel Embiid. Oh, I don't feel good today. I have a headache. I'm going to stay home. That's what you have. You give them entitlement for no production. You give them all this money, this king ransom, and they haven't produced for anything. And that's why I feel like these contracts should be incentive based. Here's a base salary. And if you are a top tier talent, guess what? You'll make top tier money based on your incentives. If your batting average is over 300, here's an incentive. If you hit 50 home runs, here's an incentive. If you win the Gold Glove, here's an incentive. If you go to the playoffs, here's your incentive. You have to incentivize these contracts because you're killing the hunger. You're killing the hunger out of these professional athletes. So nothing much on the White Sox news front. They're not signing anybody. Doesn't even matter. The only thing I want to talk about is the amazing giveaways that we given away at the White Sox games this year. So, boys, we will be going. We will be going to some White Sox games.
What are they giving away?
All right, let me start off.
I will not be going.
What, unless it's a what?
Unless it's $1 million, I will not be going.
Come on, JC. Come on, have some good Polish or
cash prizes. I'm sorry. Getting a hat is not going to do it for me.
No. Well, you're not okay.
I'll get the hat and then I'll sell it to another Sox fan that doesn't. Oh, I need to get that hat. Oh, here's $30. Give it to me.
There you go, and it pays for our beer. Good.
I will gladly take White Sox money. Gladly.
Yeah, there you go. They have a 1907 replica jersey. Okay, nothing exciting there. A 1920s jersey hoodie. Looks pretty cool. The Dick Allen bobblehead. That's got to be a must, especially with him passing recently. And I have his autograph, so I got to get that. They do have a 1940 varsity sweater. Looks pretty legit. The hat, I like it because it was the 93 division hat. It was cool, but I'll probably skip that. I am not going to go there for the radio. I'm good on that. The Hawaiian shirt is the 2005 Champs Hawaiian shirt. As much as I love the 2005 team, that is a no for me. I don't wear Hawaiian shirts.
You should. I think it'd be great. It'd be funny.
No, because that's just an excuse to get bigger and bigger. Because big guys wear Hawaiian shirts. One is definitely, if you guys are down, this is Saturday, August 23 versus Minnesota. It is a kind of, and I know you guys are Cub fans, but it is kind of a Ditka sweater vest. Instead of the Bears, it says Sox, and it's in all blue with red stripes. That's pretty cool. And then the biggest things that I'm excited for is the Burley, Garland, Garcia, and Contreras bobblehead. So it's a 4-piece bobblehead on Sunday, July 13th. And you also have Ozzie Guillen bobblehead on August 10th. And Ken Griffey Jr. bobblehead August 24th. And then they're going to have a replica of the statue for Burley on, I think that's July 11th. So bobbleheads, I don't know how that became an obsession. Probably because when I was season ticket holder, I just got so many, and now I just can't stop.
If you get all that stuff, that thing behind you is going to be rearranged and redecorated.
Yeah, I'm gonna need another couple of these, another 2 or 3 of them. Yeah. Again, and
I got my Javier Baez bobblehead, and I have a Tommy Hawk bobblehead. That's it. That's all I got.
I mean, I got 2 bobbleheads last year. So from I think it was Justin Steele for 4th of July, and I don't know what the other one is. I can't think of it. I think it's I don't know. But yeah, I mean, they have great stuff. I'll go with you, and I'll just grab it and sell it.
All right.
Or you pay me.
I mean, we'll just get $5 tickets. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I'm going there to pregame before I go to actually go out. You know, eat, drink, and then hit the night out. It's cheap. It's a good pregame spot. You know.
Yeah, it's one of those like I would be opposed if the game's $5, but at the same time, it's just like I don't want to get shot inside a stadium. You know. Like,
whatever, man. It's bring your own G. Bring your own.
Pew, pew.
Yeah, I'm
A
going.
little excitement in your life, JC. A little bit of excitement.
The birds.
I don't like going places anymore nowadays that I gotta wear a bulletproof vest for.
Oh, my
we gotta make one that says "True Chicago Sports" on it. Get Kevlar. JC, work on that magic. You know what to do.
I'll make it.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I just think I don't know. I'd go, and their food's great. I'm not gonna lie. Their food and drink specials. I will say that is like you got me there. That's how I'll
Especially
go.
with chicken tendies.
Yeah, the walking taco. Give me that hot dog with the onions. We do that every time we go. And then we get a beer.
We get in there. Yeah,
that's the first thing we do.
Yeah.
But it was funny. I went to more White Sox places with Big Z than I was going to Cubs games. I'm like, why is it? Oh, well, because the days I want to go, like they're super expensive, or I have to wait till like the 3rd or 4th inning, and then someone just wants to give me away for $25, and then I'll go in.
That's still expensive.
$25? I mean, yeah.
I went to one Cubs game last year, and I forget what I paid. It wasn't maybe like $60 or something like that, but I mean, I was pretty close to the field on the third baseline. But like I said, when it comes to giveaways and stuff like that, like that doesn't really entice me to go to a game. It's more of like, is it going to be a good game? Like, am I enjoying it with the people I'm going with? Is there good food, good drink, that kind of stuff? And like, automatically, it's like, no, the game's going to be horrible. Like, like I'm going to have to sit through 9 innings of this. Like,
oh, you don't got to sit down through 9 innings. Just till they cut off the beer.
A lot of beer.
I mean, I always have fun. We're walking around watching the game from outfield, standing. There's a lot of room that you can move your arms because sometimes like the area is all packed and you don't want to be sitting there for that long. Get another hot dog, grab some more food, and pray on a win that you don't have to use a stall. But just
the Cubs game I went to last year was one of the Cubs games where Javier Baez had returned, and it was basically Javi was up to bat, like it was like he was like the last person at bat and struck out, and we won the game, and it was like good. Swung at a pitch in the dirt, like just like you did as a Cub.
Yeah, another player.
I mean, he had his moments. He had good moments. Not as many bad. He had bad moments.
Javier Baez as a defensive player, amazing. One of the best tags of a shortstop. Anytime, any player. Like I said, he has a very quick tag, but offensively, that guy cannot stay away from a pitch low and away.
Yep, and he's too expensive to send down or cut, so they're stuck with him. All right, good time right here, and I think I might be going to a Bulls game on Wednesday because it's free.
We just talked about this.
It's free. It's free.
Sell those tickets.
They're not even mine to sell. They're free.
Sell those tickets.
I'm gonna have to break someone's car window, leave them there.
Yeah, just like the Jeeps, like just like leave a duck with the tickets.
You know what? I still haven't got ducked, and I'm fine with that. I don't need to get ducked.
Really?
Yeah, I still have not got ducked. I actually seen
Mm.
pictures like I'm on a bunch of Jeep pages, whatever. Someone actually left a frozen duck from the grocery store on the damn Jeep. I'm like, okay, that's cool. That I can take. You make a good duck. It's gonna taste good.
Man.
Some beer can duck.
We got
There you
any stir in the pot topics or
I will
If you
just
got
say
some-
this. Valentine's Day is around the corner, guys. So be sure to not do anything for your special loved ones. Besides, go see Captain America: Brave New World hitting theaters this Friday, Friday the 14th. Do yourself a favor and promote this movie as much as you can. I know me and Sean have Thursday at 3:30. Me and Sean will be at Regal. We're gonna do some content and get our thoughts before we go in, and our reactions when we come out. No spoilers, of course. Then we have to run over to bowling because we have bowling at 6:30. So if you want to listen to one on the weekend, I give you my guesses and what I think the last only one post-credit scene that is going to be there. So you don't have to stay for the whole thing. I'm going to, but people lie, so there might be two. I don't know. But there will be one post-credit scene right now. So if you want to listen to what I think it's going to be, go now after this, go listen to No One on the Weekend, Seal the Sea, and check it out. So that's all I got to say.
Are you really excited for this movie?
Yeah, I really am. Because I think it's going to connect to now how we have to rebuild the Avengers, right? Because now we're getting too close. Thunderbolts had a trailer, if you didn't see that, yesterday. Sentry has two split personalities. That's who the villain is. And he's like the Marvel Superman kind of thing. So now you got a bunch of U.S. soldiers, super soldiers, a couple of the villains that you have, Red Guardian. So you're going to see how that goes. But there's an asterisk in that for a reason. And Thunderbolt Ross is the president. So maybe that asterisk will be changed to the Dark Avengers. We don't know. Or maybe the Red Hulk has to come back and fight because these guys are outnumbered, and I don't know how they're going to win. So I don't want it to be a cheesy ending. I know someone's going to die. So, yeah, we'll see. I'm excited. And then Daredevil comes out in March, and that looks awesome. God, a lot of content. Yeah. Huh?
I don't think I've seen anything for Daredevil yet.
You could watch the original series. It's on Disney Plus if you want to catch up. You do have to watch the Defenders at some point. First two seasons, Daredevil, Defenders, and then it'll go to the third season, and then you'll be caught up for March. You got time.
Oh, it's a series.
Yeah, they're continuing and leaving off from where it was at.
Okay. All right. How many seasons of Daredevil are there?
3, but if you watch the Defenders, it's only 8 episodes. So there's a total, I think, of 10, I think, and I think they're close to an hour. So you got time to watch that. This one looks really good, really gruesome, and the action scenes look great if you haven't seen the trailer for that. And then Jurassic World trailer came out in Fantastic Four. So I've been geeking out this whole past week and whatnot, and giving my spiel on the show. So
lots of content for your show, so go over to listen.
But I will say this one last thing. July, I think we all should get passes for AMC or Regal for the month because you have Jurassic Worlds coming out on the 11th. The following week you have Superman, and the next one you have Fantastic Four. So 3 weeks out of July 4, you're gonna have box office movies. So
how much is the season pass or whatever monthly pass?
It's like $24 or $27.
Oh,
so it pays for itself, right?
It does. Yeah.
So,
or
are you gonna be able to get a shield, a popcorn shield?
I got to go to AMC. I think I'm going to send my dad to go to AMC to pick it up because the AMC by me is by what is it? That's the one with the like a foldable shield. The Regal one, I think it's just doesn't move or do anything. So there's an AMC right by my parents' place. I'm like, dude, just park, walk across the street. Say you want the bucket, get the popcorn because my mom she loves movie theater popcorn, and then bring that home. And then when I see you on Sundays, just bring that over, and I'll give you the money. But
I was gonna say, like, I have a small AMC theater by me, the Norwich theater.
Yeah, I know where that one's at.
I don't know if they ever do the buckets though. I don't know.
They have to. I think it's standard for every AMC. But if you get a JC, it's a great way to flip things right away. I didn't flip that Batman one yet, and I waited too long.
Maybe I'll have to get up in the morning and go grab a bucket.
They open at like I think 10 or 11, so you should be good unless you are like me and go to sleep at maybe 5:30, almost 6 o'clock in the morning. But no, don't be that guy. Do not be that guy. I'm
by like 1:32.
Well, that's around the time I wake up anyway. But you know, what am I going to do? So that's pretty much it.
Get a job. That's what you're going to do.
I'm trying here. I'm trying to do this Twitch thing, and I will let you guys know. And it'll be probably this Friday. Trying to get when that's all set up. I have the name. It's going to be under No One on the Weekend on Twitch. You can find me now and get ahead of it. So then when we start getting it going, we should be good to go on Friday. I'm Big Z. If you want to come on Friday, the three of us, we'll be on Twitch. We got this setting in the way the camera that I have actually it fits really well and it minimizes it, and the accuracy, it's not really pixelated, so it actually could get us on there. Moved some stuff out of here so it's a little bit more space. So if we get that going Friday, you should see us on Twitch, and join the show with us. And then afterwards, you'll see me playing video games, and then we'll do the shows on Twitch on Friday. So you'll get a little bit of both of me and Sean here and there. So it'll be exciting. JC wants to drive over here. That'd be great too.
On Friday, I won't be available.
Or whenever day to even do. I'll just get jam-packed in this room and do True Chicago Sports. But
I'm down for that.
That'd be, and then we'll buy some merch. So, yeah. So
everybody live in studio.
Funny enough, we actually just got a Twitch comment. Polar Nights, as a barber, I like the show sports and beards. It's every stage of the beard growth because I literally trimmed it all down. JC's got the medium, and then Steven's got the
yeah. I gotta trim mine's a little. That's too long.
Mine is very I have the gray fox going. So mine doesn't look as full or filled in, but that's because it's gray. So it kind of just blends in with the, color of my skin. So
yeah, that's why I shaved mine. It was very, very gray. Like on one side, I have one big old gray patch, and the other side it's not as gray. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just trim it down. I'll keep the beard, but I just got to trim it down. Enough is enough with that. All right, boys. I think it's time to go. It's time to go. Yeah. All right. Thank you to our listeners for sticking and supporting us through 234 episodes. Thank you to our sponsors, 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans. Check us out on social media. Hit over 606media.com. You can find all the podcasts on there. The latest one is usually posted up on the front, is always on the front page, but you can find No One on the Weekend. You can find mine, Impodsicated with Big Z. You can find True Chicago Sports. And hopefully when JC gets ready to post his, you'll find his. You'll have pages of his own. So
yeah, I have it all set up. I just have to actually record a session and post it.
There you go. If you have a Stirring the Pot comment or topic, or you want to argue with us on whatever it is, sports or food or whatever it is, hit us up at truechicagosportsfans@gmail.com. We'll get back to you very soon. All right, y'all. For JC and Stevie B, I am Big Z. We'll see you next time for episode 235. And until then, be good to each other for the love of sports.
Swoosh.